I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my August Planetary Overview. Now, it's a written report which always appears on my pages in the New York Daily News site. And then each month I read the report, unlike the weeklies, which I ad-lib off my chart. And I'd like to just mention this is the start of it because sometimes the written word and how you say it can be different, so bear with me. I'm calling this a month of luck and opportunity, so let's hope that's what it ends up being. So let's get started. So with Saturn moving forward and Venus backwards, this is a month of renewal where past projects, ideas, monetary situations, and also relationships can get the green light and put your goals and visions into action. Now, for the last week of July, which is week the 27th, I'm going to cover this week because this week, we starts the 1st of August. So the month of July closed off with the full moon in Aquarius on the 31st, the second full moon for July, so it's full of energy and it packs a punch, that's for sure. It is being called a blue moon, but technically a blue moon is the fourth moon in the season, where this is only the third, so there's a little bit of confusion around that. So Venus, then, the planet of love and money, will also re-enter Leo at the same time. And as Venus continues her journey in Leo on her retrograde transit, she will stay there through October the 8th, when she'll then move back into Virgo. Now, this is an extended stay for Venus in Leo, and with Leo being such a gregarious sign with a can-do attitude, then love can touch the hearts of many during this time. So don't be surprised if an ex-lover suddenly appears back in your life, or you resurrect a relationship in some way, or deal with some old issues. At the same time, it can give you a chance to finally cut ties with a union that isn't working. So all of the above can happen with Venus retrograde, okay? On Venus's monetary side, while she is retrograde, friends and colleagues from the past or someone you know of can present options and opportunities that can be beneficial during this time. So don't be quick to discard someone you think has nothing to offer. They might just prove you wrong. Projects that have lain dormant and forgotten can resurrect during this time too, so don't rule anything out, as Venus will sit next to abundant Jupiter until August the 11th. Keep a positive attitude no matter what happens, with the knowledge that things can change and do so quickly. At the end of this week, Saturn, the planet of reality, comes out of its retrograde transit in Scorpio, where it re-entered for a final 3-month period and will now make his way back to Sagittarius for a year-long stay from mid-September. So for all of August, Saturn will be still in Scorpio, but direct. This gives you a final month to dig deep and uncover any emotional baggage and discard it. So that's the good news. It's very important to use the vibration of Saturn in Scorpio this month to do so, because once it enters Sagittarius, the focus then will change from your inner self to a much broader and more expansive view of what is happening in the world, rather than just in your world. So this is a great time to just, focus on you and how you feel more. It is also a positive and beneficial time to relook at concepts that you've put aside, or major long-term projects that were put back on hold in March, when Saturn commenced his retrograde transit. So you're right back in March. If something was put on hold, then it can really start to go ahead now, okay? So don't think that something's over and done. There's lots of things happening at the moment that can really resurrect love and money and creativity. And of course, depends where these planets sit in your solar chart and your personal natal chart, of course. All right, let's have a look at week 1, August the 3rd. There is a lot of planetary movement and interaction this week, and although it can feel a little unsettled, it does provide the balance of energy needed to make changes, and in some cases, for you to push the restart button. Beautiful Venus and abundant Jupiter connect at the start of the week on the 4th and can spark interactions that result in good news, promising developments, and feel-good moments. This is particularly optimistic and abundant energy where Lady Luck can present herself at precisely the right time. However, with Venus retrograde and also in a challenging square with Sirius Saturn, what transpires now could very well be delayed, which can be a little bit of a killjoy, but it's not that it's going away, okay? So don't lose hope. But although you may not be celebrating straight away, doesn't mean that things will not go ahead. I just ad-libbed a bit there. Sorry, I haven't said that twice. Okay, so in fact, a delay can give you time to think things through more thoroughly and fine-tune a situation so it's more desirable. So, delays are not always a bad thing. They can be very good. Midweek on the 6th, action planet Mars in Cancer will interact with Saturn in Scorpio, forming a water trine. So although you can feel motivated to get on with your life, you will also be thoughtful and consider the responsible thing to do rather than be too reactive. So that's good. And in this sense, the two energies, although opposite, do complement each other, allowing you to see all sides of a situation instead of rushing in and making a rash decision, which you can later regret. And the square between Mercury and Saturn on the same day will remind you to keep it real and speak from the heart. The next day, on the 7th, Mercury, the planet of communication and commerce, will make a move from Leo to Virgo, one of the signs that rules, and a full of confidence way of communicating while in Leo will be replaced with thoughtful or more grounded common sense while in Virgo. In this position, Mercury provides the energy to grasp complex situations and systematically work through any scenario to find a suitable solution. Mercury will stay in Virgo until August the 27th. Just before Mercury moves to Virgo, on the same day, literally just hours before he makes that move, he'll connect with abundant Jupiter in Leo and can bring through positive news at this time, perhaps a development that will allow you to move forward with plans. At the end of this week, Mars will then enter the sign of Leo, which adds to the Leo confidence and energy levels. So motivation to succeed is high, although there is a risk element here too. So it's wise to take a step back before impulsively rushing into anything, particularly if it has to do with money. Mars will stay in Leo through to September the 24th, when he'll then enter Virgo. All right, let's have a look at week 2, August the 10th. This week, on the 11th, expansive and abundant Jupiter shifts gears from Leo to Virgo. Wow, this is the annual move, so it's exciting. And it'll stay here for the next 12-month period. This is a complex position for Jupiter, as its expansive energies, which look more at the big picture, are somewhat confined in Virgo's talent of analyzing the details. However, as Mercury, the communication planet, rules Virgo, there is a real benefit here to put complex situations into layman terms. So it is very understandable to the mass market and not just resonate with the scholars and the academics of life. So there's a good balance happening there. On the 13th, the Sun will interact with Uranus in a fire trine, which can be quite unpredictable energy. So don't lock in your calendar or your day planner too tight. You may need to make some changes. The very next day, the new moon in Leo signifies the commencement of the next 2-week period of growth and new beginnings, especially with money and relationships, as the moon and the sun literally kiss Venus as they pass each other in opposite directions. So This is also a time when past relationships or monetary situations can show up to give you a chance to change or update the status quo in that area of your life, okay? All right, moving on to week 3, August the 17th. Midweek, Venus will interact with Uranus in a fire trine and can cause unpredictable developments, especially around love and money, although it can be short-lived. And it can provide the energy to force you to make decisions on something that you've been pondering about. So it's like a quick burst of energy. Then on the 21st, the Sun in Leo will square off with Saturn, which can cause setbacks and delays, but it can also give you some thinking time and provide you with a reality check, which can enable you to change things around so that they're more beneficial to you, okay? So don't stress over a delay or setback too much. It may actually work right into your hands. Life is like that. The Sun will make its move onto the sign of Virgo on the 23rd, which will help you do the legwork to get organized for the next month. All right, moving on to week 4, week commencing August the 24th. The Sun and Jupiter connect on the 26th, which can bring about celebrations and good times. This is a beautiful, beneficial time, and if you can keep your mind and heart open, that change in the form of positive developments can touch your life during this time. This is not a long transit, but it is a powerfully lucky transit. And for a few days either side of the 26th, I would make a note to avoid or sidestep negative people or situations. You do want to keep your attention on what you desire to attract of life and not on what you don't want, okay? So be careful of getting involved with bad news bearers. You know, there's people that just sort of get up on the wrong side of the bed every day. And then the very next day, on August the 27th, Mercury will make his move into Libra. And if you've had any unfortunate interactions with people, then this transit will help to smooth it over and get relationships back on track and be able to come to an amicable and suitable outcome for all concerned. At the end of this week, on the 29th, the full moon in Pisces can help you discard anything or anyone that's not working for your best interests and open up to new situations. It can also help you to get in touch with your emotions and how you feel. And with the influence of the Sun and Jupiter, as well as Neptune and Pisces, once you decide what direction you want to head, you can make it happen, okay? Making this an incredibly lucky time, even if it is a short transit. The month of August finishes with an opposition between the Sun and Neptune on the 31st, which can heighten your instincts, but also cast a shadow of confusion on matters. So to gain further insights, it's important to pay attention to your intuition during this time. It may be the thing that pulls you through. And, you know, if you learn to listen to your intuition, it won't do wrong by you. This is a very interesting time and a month of luck and opportunity. Let's hope so. That we have all been waiting for. I certainly have. I know a lot of my followers have. So let's hope my prediction comes true. Always, but particularly for luck and opportunity. There are openings to gain closure, renew, and discard. And an abundance of luck and opportunity coming through. So, you know, as always, that life is full of supportive and challenging situations. And, you know, this month we've got the same. So the best way to ride the wave of beneficial energy available this month is to review or set your goals if you haven't, and consistently put positive energy and visualization into what you want to achieve. Try to see yourself actually at the end of the journey and being where you want to be. Minimize as much as possible any negative influence and focus your attention on the positive. I mean, that's always good advice, don't you think? But particularly when Jupiter is concerned. Um, Jupiter expands, you want to expand, and the abundance level and expansion part of Jupiter, you want to expand that with positive energy. Okay, so you might have to give people, some people that every time you talk to them are going to be downers, perhaps just, limit the time that you have with them. Not always easy to do, but just to be thoughtful of it, okay? And if you can do some meditation or prayer every day and put out to the universe your thanks and gratitude and visualize what you want to come back in, then really that's going to be real good for the August vibration of luck and opportunity. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead now and do the weekly reports, and as I said, this written report for the monthly planetary overview does appear on the New York pages, on my pages on the New York Daily News //horoscope, or you can get there just by jenniferangel.com, which is often just easier. All right, love and luck to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all have a fabulous month and something great happens for each and every one of us. Bye for now.